And then I started to feel this response in my body. I'm like, I feel different. And so what I'm trying to understand is what is happening internally with me. This hydrogen-rich water, because I've measured it with the ORP meter, and it's obviously has a very, very significant ORP reading in the negative, which is what we want. But give us from I guess, a clinical perspective, what is happening internally for me after drinking this water for just over 3 months now.
So it's nothing to do with pH. People often say it's because of its alkalinity. The Kangen water or any ionizer water actually doesn't have a high alkalinity. So I'll just quickly define that. So when people talk about alkaline water, you can have a store-bought bottle of water 9.5 and a water ionizer that also makes 9.5. You might then go and grab some bicarb and throw it in a glass and stir that in and get like 8.5. So the pH of two substances can be the same, but the alkalinity determines how strong of a buffer it is. And so when you're drinking a water that has a high pH and a high alkalinity, it can buffer acids like stomach acid. And that's probably why I didn't want to buy one when I researched this. But after doing all that work, I was like, man, am I wrong? Like I went out to prove my mum wrong, and I proved myself wrong. And that's with like 3 degrees. Going through uni, like typical nerd, I didn't get taught this stuff. And so no doctor out there or any other health professional, unless they've put the additional hours in, gets taught this. They've got the foundational knowledge to understand chemistry and biochemistry so that when they're reading and researching, they understand the concepts. But the water itself, Dave, as I said, it's not really the pH that's relevant, it's the molecular hydrogen. So this molecular hydrogen, for those who don't know what that is, we have that naturally being produced in our body. And what it does is it upregulates something called NRF2. This mechanism is able to increase our glutathione, our superoxygenase, our catalase. And these three substances are antioxidants that quench free radicals. So they run around and find anything that's an oxidant and they quench it. Basically, they just counteract each other. Now, molecular hydrogen is the smallest molecule that we know of. And the difference between this antioxidant, because it's not technically an antioxidant, it acts like one, between this and others, if you're doing a lot of exercise and you're training, you're going to notice something more beneficial from molecular hydrogen than taking other antioxidant supplements. The special thing about molecular hydrogen is that it's selective. It doesn't interfere with our natural pro-inflammatory reaction. So when you go into the gym and you're breaking muscle down, that is required to then build it back up stronger. You can be drinking molecular hydrogen-rich water and it doesn't interfere with that process, but it helps you recover much faster. In fact, even though it might be a few hours of effect of having, I think some studies I read, there was a 39% increase in superoxygenase, a 25% increase in glutathione, so that's one of our two main antioxidants, and a 43% decrease and a 33% decrease in MDA, which is the marker of how much inflammation that we have. So this is showing us that when we're drinking this water, this molecular hydrogen, the smallest molecule that we know of, can go through our blood-brain barrier, which is very rare for a lot of substances. It can go through all of our organs and start to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress and trigger the response of our own body to use our other actual antioxidants to come and do the same thing. So even though you've drank that water and the effect of the molecular hydrogen is finished, you still have quite a few days, up to a week, of your DNA, RNA, cell membrane being protected because of the NRF2 pathway being activated. So it's an amazing feature of this machine to be able to selectively just target the bad free radicals and allow our good pro-oxidation process to occur, decreasing all the inflammatory pathways, not all of them, but many of the inflammatory pathways. And the moment that that magic is finished, our body is still going through that process with its own antioxidants. So it's very unique. There's not many things that can have all of those features all in one.
this would, and anyone who's been following me documenting this experience, is the other thing was the brain fog lifting, because I suffer from a lot